You guys, I swear I'm not trying to be the leak guy, but the devs are giving me no choice.
We need more info about the game.
Give us the details. Today's leak comes courtesy of Reddit user LittleOtt, and we've got a little my dad works at Nintendo situation going on here. But this one kind of checks out. Turns out they've got a friend who worked over at Warner Brothers Studios about 5 years ago when they were in the development and planning phases of Hogwarts Legacy. And we know this much is true because the moderators over on the subreddit Harry Potter Game do their due diligence and make sure that posts like this are backed by facts. In this case, it was an ex-employee, so they would have asked for something confirming that they did in fact work there. But whatever it was they asked for, they must have got it because one of the mods commented saying that it checked out. After beating around the bush for a couple of paragraphs, LittleOtt gives us a few details about what their friend was involved with while they were a part of the team. Now, as always, guys, I do want to warn you to take this leak with a grain of salt. It has been 5 years since OP's friend worked over there at Warner Brothers Studios, so many things could have changed. None of this could be relevant anymore. But like I said, take it with a grain of salt. We'll see if it's true or not. Alright, so the first substantial thing that gets talked about in the Reddit post is they confirmed that they discuss romantic options and even went as far as discussing LGBTQ+ options. Now, this would be pretty cool, and we haven't had any official mention of relationships in Hogwarts Legacy, but it's not the first time an ex-employee has mentioned it being in the game. In fact, not too long ago, ex-developer Troy Levitt did an interview on Podcast Now, and in that interview, he also mentioned at one point in the early development process that they were looking into the potential of having relationship options in the game. This also isn't the first Harry Potter game that Portkey Games would have added romance to either. In the mobile game Hogwarts Mystery, there was a limited time event around Valentine's Day called the Celestial Ball. Now, I've never played the game before, but from what I understand, it takes place slightly before the events of Harry Potter, while Bill Weasley is in the castle. I'm pretty sure the Celestial Ball is basically the same thing as the Yule Ball, but just for Hogwarts students. And it was such a success that they actually brought the romance feature back due to popular demand. So go check out that game while we wait for Hogwarts Legacy. Or don't, you just spend so much time waiting in that game for your next turn to load. I don't personally care for it, but there's no reason for you to wait to hit that subscribe button. The second thing the leak mentions is wand customization, and while they didn't go into any detail about how it might work, I made a whole video going over wand customization that I'll link at the end, but basically in that video I just discuss a couple of different ways that it might work. My favorite being that you'll be able to choose your wand from a handful of pre-generated options, and then you get your own Sorcerer's Stone moment where the wand chooses you and the light gets all dramatic and the wind starts blowing from nowhere, and if they don't give us that moment, we riot. The next thing they mentioned on the post was the reason we show up late to Hogwarts, and that reason being that we were thought to be a squib and a wizarding family. Now, at first I didn't really like this idea because it seems like just such a boring way to introduce a new character, but if done right, it could be pretty exciting. Everyone thought Neville was a squib until his uncle dropped him out of a window and he bounced down the driveway, so imagine if we had a moment like that, but with Merlin magic. Sorry, ancient magic. But full disclosure, I completely believe that we're going to be a descendant of Merlin, and that's where we get our ability to call down lightning, and we have that natural affinity for fantastic beasts. But really though, the whole squib thing makes more sense than some of the other popular theories right now. Like being a transfer student doesn't make as much sense because if you had gone to another school, then you'd at least have a baseline knowledge of most general magic, and you wouldn't need the special courses to catch up. Anyway, that's pretty much the whole post. We just hit 500 subscribers thanks to you guys, so thank you so much for that. I'm going to be doing a giveaway once we hit 1,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I also put up a poll to see what kind of decoration you guys want me to add to my background here. Whatever you guys choose, I'll do a 1,000 subscriber special where I unbox that and put it up back here, so keep your eye open for that. Also, I was gifted this shirt with the Wizarding Nerd logo on it, so if you guys want something like that in the future, let me know in the comments, and I'll start making something like this to put up on a shop. But I've got a handful of other videos talking about leaks that I'll put right here, so check those out if you haven't already. But that's all I've got for you today, so I'll catch you next time, nerds.